Thanks for being there. The program is still Infrastructure Weekly. Lastly on the program this week, we take a look at the developments in the power sector in 2018.
Alive to the cries of Nigerians across every region and sectors over the worsening supply of electricity, the President Muhammadu Buhari-led federal government, through its Ministry of Power Works and Housing, is implementing several policies to ensure Nigerians get reliable power supply in their households and businesses.
With regard to power, we have improved on what we met by increasing generation from 4,000 megawatt to 7,000 megawatt, transmission from 5,000 megawatt. I'm told now that the last simulation is around 8,000 megawatts in transmission, and distribution has improved from 2,690 to a peak of 5,222 early in January of this year. Our work is clearly not finished, and we are still in the process of delivering additional generation.
To sustain generation and effective distribution in the power sector, the government launched a 701 billion naira payment assurance program designed to resolve the liquidity challenges in the power sector by guaranteeing payments to generating companies and gas suppliers.
As facilitator of business and enabler of private sector, government has done the following. First, through the Central Bank of Nigeria, government made available the sum of 213 billion naira to the power sector at concessionary interest rate below market rate to GENCOs and DISCOs. Government has committed to invest 72 billion naira for procurement of equipment and installation to help get to 2,000 megawatts to consumers. And this process has been advertised with encouraging responses from original equipment manufacturers which are being evaluated.
The federal government also launched the Distribution Expansion Program, which was approved by the Federal Executive Council in February 2018 to deliver 2,000 megawatts of unused power capacity to consumers in need. Implementation of the Distribution Expansion Program has commenced with the issuance in May 2018, following the call for tenders for the procurement of distribution substations and electrical equipment.
We are confident that with the distribution expansion, with the implementation of these policies, and the cooperation of the DISCOs, the constituencies that you mentioned will be better served and happier with our progress on incremental and stable and uninterrupted power.
I believe this is where we are, which refer to metering. Metering will also help, obviously, to eliminate this estimated billing. And of course, we are also putting in order, before, in parallel with this metering, have been available a capping in terms of the maximum, or at least the maximum for which a customer who has not obtained a meter should pay. I think we are working together with the ministry to achieve the total good for our customers. And the DISCOs are also working with us to make sure this is done.
The eligible customer policy introduced on the 15th of May 2017 is part of efforts by the Ministry of Power Works and Housing to improve the distribution of electricity and facilitate better power supply to consumers who consume up to 2 megawatts and above. In 2018, the ministry recorded that 5 industrial customers are now benefiting from the policy, and that a list of 26 industrial customers are also seeking to benefit.
In order to accelerate supply to industries and heavy consumers, government through my office, pursuant to the powers conferred by Section 27 of the Act, declared eligible customer, which was to enable people who consume 2 megawatt and above, who were not getting power because of lack of distribution equipment, invest in the provision of the equipment and take power directly from the GENCOs who had the power.
The federal government, through the Ministry of Power Works and Housing Energized Education Initiative, aimed at rejuvenating the nation's education system by providing uninterrupted power supply to a total of 37 federal universities and 7 university teaching hospitals in Nigeria.
We have 9 universities, first pilot out of 37 universities, where some work is going on now. Equipment has been ordered, some have been shipped, some are mid-sea, to ensure that ultimately when we finish, 37 federal universities will have no business with the grid again, and they will have reliable power. All of this is going on as I speak, and they're verifiable.
The government in year 2018 also emphasized on the Energizing Economies initiative, meant to increase energy access and economic growth by assisting private sector developers provide clean, reliable and affordable power to economic clusters across Nigeria. Over 200,000 small businesses are targets of this program, and a substantial number are already enrolled enjoying 24 hours power delivery through the Energizing Economies initiative that is being implemented by the Federal Ministry of Power, Works and Housing and Rural Electrification Agency across markets in the 6 geopolitical zones of the country.
Markets like Area in Aba, Sabon Gari in Kano, Ekpori is ongoing. Sura has been connected, so you can go to Sura market and go and ask the people in Sura what their experience has been for the last almost 100 days. They haven't had to put on a generator. And 37,000 shops in area are going to benefit. 13,000, I believe, in Sabon Gari. So we are decoupling in order to gain traction and access. So that's the outlook going forward.
The rural communities are not left out of the government's plan on delivering power supply to the people. Hence, the implementation of the Strategic Rural Electrification Plan, meant to provide access to reliable electric power supply for rural dwellers, irrespective of where they live and what they do. This is already yielding results. The people of Gora community in Karu local government area of Nasarawa State testified to this during a courtesy visit at the Ministry of Power, Works and Housing. They explained that the solar power systems installed in their villages by this government de-isolated them from darkness.
Rural communities like you, farming communities like you, are the most critical pillars of the diversification of the Nigerian economy. They are the treasure stores of nutrition, food. They are the treasure house of building materials, quarries, mining pits, granite pits. And so our attention is particularly focused on rural communities under the direction of the president. What is good for the people in the cities must be good for the people in the rural communities. That is our mandate, and we will deliver it.
Number 1, education. A sense of equality and bridge of gap between the performance of our children in the villages and the children in the cities are now evidenced as they can now study at night. Our teachers that were living in the cities are now coming to seek for accommodation in the villages, and by doing that, they will give more attention to our children's education. The solar power has increased the study time of our children at home, which has resulted in better performance and better grade. Number 2, health. Access to our television has improved our health knowledge, which has resulted in the change of our health behavior. Better health from improved knowledge and storage facilities from refrigeration. Better health from cleaner air, as households have reduced the use of fossil fuels for cooking, lighting, and heating. Some of the communities have now connected their boreholes with solar power, and pipe-borne water is now available. No more drinking of contaminated water from ponds and streams. Thus, our health has improved.
The last administration delayed the implementation of the Strategic Rural Electrification Plan by 10 years. So it was not done until 2016. And as soon as we presented it to President Buhari, he had no difficulty at all in approving it. It is that plan that is impacting your communities today. And you are one of the dozens of communities that have been impacted.
The Transmission Company of Nigeria had secured $1.63 billion from sources which include the federal government and multilateral agencies to increase its electricity transmission capacity under the Transmission Rehabilitation and Expansion Program. Several power transformers had been installed across the network, but there was not enough lines to take power to them. These constituted idle capacities in the network, but efforts made in the year under review recorded progress in transmission capacity increase to about 8,100 megawatts.
The good news I also want to tell you that transmission has again moved again. We did a simulation about 2 weeks ago, and the capacity of transmission has moved to 8,100 megawatts. We have not failed. We are going to fulfill the promise that we have done to expand the grid to at least 20,000 megawatts by 2021.
The Minister of Power Works and Housing, Babatunde Fashola, promised that over 90 projects will be delivered to boost power capacity for distribution of electricity nationwide. In fulfillment of the promise, the minister, alongside management staff of the Transmission Company of Nigeria, commissioned many projects, including the energizing and commissioning into service of 260 MVA transformers at Calabar substations, a 40 MVA mobile transformer in Umuahia substation, and a 60 MVA in Aba.
There will be many more of this completion, energizing, and connection of substation, injection stations, and so on in the course of this year and next year. I know that TCN on our own have no less than 90 of these kind of projects in various stages of completion.
On critical investment in line and substation, we have been tackling it in four ways. One, we are using in-house capacity to install equipment. We use TCN engineers to install those equipment that are in our substation that have not been contracted. Under that arrangement, we have succeeded in installing several equipments and transformers across the country.
From about 4,000 megawatts of power managed over the years by successive administrations to over 7,000 megawatts of power generation recorded in 2018, it is indeed a sure deal of progress for the Nigerian people in power supply to homes and business places.
The traffic into this direction.